Nippon Hoso Podcast Station.
Today we're diving into かぐや様は告らせたい or かぐや様 Love is War! Yay! 今日のフレーズはお可愛いことです。In English, it is How cute. トイレとも言えるけど、おトイレとかYeah, like you could say toilet. Like I need to go to the bathroom. But if you put o in front of it, like it sounds a bit more like, you know, you're kind of like, oh, well, excuse me, I'm gonna go to the o toilet. Also, in Japan, there's this rule, not this rule, but there's a saying, like, you should always confess on the third date. I don't know why. Why? なんで3回目のデートで告白すべきなんですか？ Anime English Club with Sal Yamaki. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 23 of the Anime English Club. I'm your host Sal Yamaki. よろしくお願いします。Guys, if you guys are ever in Japan, please be careful. Oh my gosh. So in Japan, there's this place called Shimokitazawa that's very famous for having a lot of used clothing, like a lot of secondhand clothes place. I went there wanting to be one of the cool kids. Okay, first of all, the cool kids go to Shimokitazawa. ですよね? It's the cool kids area. The cool kids go to Shimokitazawa to look for used clothing, and I wanted to be one of them. But I thought the used clothing would be cheaper, you know, because somebody already wore it. Like, you're not the first person to wear it. So I was like, okay, everything's gonna be like maybe 10 to 15 bucks. And I go into one of the store. I bought this jacket, by the way, there. And the person working there was like, oh my gosh, you look so good in that. Like, you should totally buy it. Like, he was so chill about it. He was so casual that I thought it was gonna be super cheap. So then I go to the register, and he rings it up. Guess how much it was? It was $760. 76,000 yen. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know I haven't paid yet, so I could have been like, oh, you know what, I'm going to think about it more. But I didn't want him thinking I was poor. I knew I couldn't afford it. Like, yeah, I couldn't afford $760 for one jacket that I couldn't even wear yet because when I bought it, it was like super expensive. It was super hot still. Summer heat in Japan is crazy right now. But anyway, yeah, because we made small talk for like 30 minutes. So I thought we were buddies by then. So I didn't think he would do such a thing, you know, sell me a jacket for $760. But here we are. So I'm going to wear it every day because if I wear it every day, that means every day is like maybe 10 cents per day. So yeah, I've been wearing it for a week now. And it smells like I've been wearing it for a week now. But anyway, if you guys are ever in Shimokitazawa, please be careful. There are a lot of cheap stores, but there are a lot of like expensive stores as well, so please be careful. Anyway, today we're diving into かぐや様は告らせたい or かぐや様 Love is War! Yay! So Kaguya-sama Love is War is an anime series based on a manga series by Aka Akasaka, which started airing in 2019. Since then, the TV anime has aired its third season and a TV special, and the production of a new television special has also been announced for this popular work. The story follows the student council vice president, Kaguya Shinomiya, and the president, Miyuki Shirogane, who meets in the prestigious Shujin Gakuen, where future promising geniuses gather. And they're supposed to be attracted to each other, but half a year has passed without any progress. The two are too proud and unable to be honest, have annoyingly started to think only about how to make the other confess. And love is more enjoyable until it's fulfilled. It's a new kind of mind game romantic comedy. So they're saying whoever confesses their love first loses, and that's why they're saying Kaguya-sama Love is War. Anyway, this series actually, I was also in this anime back in 2019. 2019? Crazy. How long ago is that? 6 years? Oh my gosh. I was in the first season. I played the role of Betsy, the vice president of the French School Student Council. Funny story, actually. I auditioned for her. First of all, I got the audition because I said that I can speak French on my profile, on my artist profile in my website. It says Sayamaki, she can speak English, Japanese, Spanish, and French, which was slightly true. Like, I had an internet friend from France, so I would always use Google Translate to communicate with her. So back then, like 6 years ago, I thought I knew how to speak French because I understood everything she said to me using Google Translate. So that's why I put it on my profile. I didn't know it enough to use it for work. So when I first got the audition, I was like, oh no, what do I do? So I put all the lines in Google Translate and I hit press, like the reading thing, where Siri reads you the lines. And I practiced with like the Google voice. It was, what was it like? One of the lines was like, bonjour. I couldn't even say bonjour. Bonjour. I was like, bonjour. And I was like, Google Translate was like, no, that's not how you say it. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I kind of faked it until I made it onto this series. Thankfully, though, the only French word she said during the anime was bonjour. This character, like, she was supposed to say a lot of mean things to Kaguya and Shirogane, but it was supposed to sound censored, so whatever she was saying, it wasn't supposed to sound French, so I was actually speaking gibberish, so that helped me a lot, yeah. So the only reason I was able to play this role was because they told me to purposely speak in a way that sounded French, but also not French at all, so that they didn't have to censor it. Yeah, so, whew. Yeah, anyway, that was back 6 years ago. I took French off of my profile. Cannot speak French, guys. Anyway, let's dive into today's phrase. Today, we're going to dive into what is arguably the most iconic line from this series. では、いきます。今日のフレーズは、お可愛いことです。In English, it is, how cute. はい。So this is Kaguya's famous line that she imagines in her head when Miyuki Shirogane, the student council president, is cornered or when his inferiority complex is triggered during the romantic mind games between Kaguya, Shinomiya, and Miyuki Shirogane. It's a line that appears many times in the anime. It's like an internal monologue, you know. This like Kaguya comes up and she's like, oh, how cute. I love this phrase because in Japanese, when you put the hiragana o in front of something, suddenly everything turns very formal. And a lot of the times, I feel like Japanese people purposely put o in front of things that don't even belong there to make them sound, like emphasizing how formal they are. 例えばなんだろう。トイレとも言えるけど、おトイレとか。Yeah, like you could say toilet. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. But if you put o in front of it, like it sounds a bit more like, you're kind of like, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna go to the o toilet. Oh my gosh, actually, there's a way to hide the fact that you're gonna go to the bathroom. お花を摘みます. I don't even know how that started. So apparently it's kind of embarrassing to go to the bathroom for Japanese people. So when you're out with not even your friends, when you're out with like your peers that you're not really close to, and you say you want to go to the bathroom, you don't say, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. You say, I'm going to go pick some flowers. Like, what? Where did that even start? お花摘みますってどこでスタートしたんですか? なんでですか? Why are we picking flowers? We're not picking flowers. If anything, we're planting flowers. Like, we're not picking it. We're planting them. But yeah, there's like many ways to turn things formal. And this is one way, to put o in front of something. Hi, but so the phrase お可愛いこと translates into how cute, but I feel like if you were to translate how cute, it would be more like なんて可愛いのでしょう. So お可愛いこと is actually very hard to translate quite literally because I feel like you need the cultural context as well. Yeah, so the best way to translate it would be how cute, but like how cute doesn't really sound formal anyway. But I mean, in English, I feel like a lot of the times it's harder to make things sound formal because there's only one type of grammar, whereas in Japan, there's like so many ways you can switch up the words, and okawaii koto is one of them. But how cute. So adding an adjective after how really, expresses or emphasizes the emotion put into it. So how cute, how exciting, how wonderful. So how so-and-so is a phrase that you can use, and you can switch it up as well. So how cute, or if a little girl comes in with her little princess dress, you can be like, oh, how pretty, So how blah, 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 how so-and-so is a phrase you can use. Also, what I just said, how blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah は〇〇と一緒です。なんか、ここに〇〇と入りますみたいなのを blah, blah, blah. blah, blah みたいな感じでも使ってくださいね。So anyway, I heard that cute and pretty is hard for Japanese people to understand the difference, which I didn't know. I thought they were pretty much the same, but なんだろう、どっちの方が嬉しいかな? Oh, you look so cute today. Oh, you look so pretty. You look so cute. Cute, I feel it can also be used for physical appearance, but you can also talk about your I guess characteristic, like as a person, like she's a very cute person. But if you say she's a very pretty person, you would imagine that it's all physical. Like if somebody has like a happy-go-lucky personality, you can say, oh, she has a very cute personality, but you would never say she has a very pretty personality. Like it doesn't really work that way. So cute, you can use physically or internally or like characteristic-wise, but pretty, I imagine it's only like physical appearance. Hi. In English also, this is hard to explain when you say like, oh, that guy's so cute. You don't like really mean he's like kawaii, like, what do we mean when we say that a guy is cute? Oh, he's so cute. He's so, like it has the same meaning or like, nuance as like, oh, he's pretty handsome. But なんだろう、なんでキュートっていうの? He's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Why do we say that? Why do we say that? I don't say that often though. I say it to girls, but like not to guys often. I don't think guys are cute. Anyway. But yeah.
Is there any other thing to say to a man, like other than cute?
You're good looking. Yeah. You're so cute. You're handsome. I wouldn't even say handsome. Like that seems like a granny word, like a grandma. Like, oh, you're so handsome. Yeah, I feel like cute would be the phrase. But I feel like if you use it for a guy, like it basically means everything. Like it can mean like he's handsome. It can also mean like he's physically like cute, like a little mochi. Yeah, it means a lot of things. I guess it just means that you like the way he looks. Like he's cute. Like, oh, he's so cute. But in this case, I don't think Kaguya-sama's using it in a like a cute, like, oh, you're so cute. Like I wanna like, squish your cheeks. It's more like she's kind of looking down on him. Not like looking down on him, but she feels superior, and that's why she's like, oh, you're so cute. Oh, also, change of subject a little bit. I'm gonna go off track. Lately, is it a thing where when you call somebody kawaii in Japanese, people are starting to think that it's because you're kind of looking down on them? Yeah. The girls, right now are like, oh, you're calling me cute. That's because like you think you're better than me. But I also do understand that because you would never call your superior kawaii. You know, you always call people like, you know, that you see like you need to take care of or something, you know, as cute. So I do see where they're coming from, but I also think they're reaching too much, you know, like you are kawaii, you are cute, even if somebody isn't looking down on you. But I do understand. Like, yeah, a lot of like people talking about relationships lately, they're always like, oh, if a guy ever calls you cute, that means he's looking down on you. I'm like, I don't think that's the case, but anyway. Hi. So can we go into today's pronunciation? All right. So the pronunciation this week, I don't think it's that hard. So the phrase was お可愛いこと. In English, it's how cute. How cute. It actually changes depending on the way you say it. So for instance, if you want to actually mean like, oh, how cute, like なんて可愛いの? You would be like, oh, how cute. But in the way that Kaguya-sama is saying it, like, you know, kind of feeling superior, you'll be like, how cute. Oh, how cute. I would even add a little O to it, like, oh, how cute. Hi. How isn't that hard? Cute. Is cute the part that would be hard? Cute. Cute. Kyun. Kyun no kyu. Say kyun, and then just chop off the part. The cute. 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 You're so cute. あ、でも cute でもないんですよね。Cute. Cute. 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 Pretend you're spitting in somebody's face, like like you like you're really frustrated, you're like hot. But so you're saying kyun, so practice it 2 ways. Kyun, and then so cute. Hi. You want to say yeah, that's the only way I can explain it. Spit in somebody's face while saying kyun. Hi, and now you can say it. How cute. Hot. This.
アニメイングリッシュクラブ with サリー・アマキ。
Next, looking at the cultural context. There is so much cultural context in this anime. Oh my gosh. So, Kaguya-sama Love is War. The story progresses with the goal of making the other person confess. But the cultural concept of a formal confession isn't as defined as it is in Japan, I think. Not even I think, I know. And that is why all my friends back in America are having so much relationship problems. Yeah, also, I heard relationships right now is pretty brutal. Like, nobody's really on the market right now. Yeah. あ、これも on the market っていうフレーズがあるんですけど、on the market っていう市場に出てるっていうフレーズなんですけど、例えばなんか、その恋人ができたら I'm off the market って言うんですよ。もう売り物じゃないとか、もう私は売られたから、これでも男女問わず I'm off the market とか on the market とか言えるんですけど、なのでそのif you're ever proposed to, like a lot of the times if you go on Instagram and you see, you know, somebody taking a picture saying, hey, I got proposed to, a lot of the post would have a little quote saying, oh, I'm off the market, or like I'm officially off the market, like, you know, like you can't take me anymore because I'm already taken. So off the market is a phrase. But anyway, going back on track. Yeah, kokohaku, or a literal confession, doesn't really exist in America, especially where I lived. Everybody was like seeing people. Yeah, you say I'm seeing someone. What does that mean? Like, you see everybody. Like, excuse me, what are you seeing on your daily, like, other daily life? I don't understand. Also, in Japan, there's this rule, not this rule, but there's a saying, like, you should always confess on the third date. I don't know why. Why? なんで3回目のデートで告白すべきなんですか？
なんとなくなんか段階踏んでみたらね、多分。
The third date is not enough. Like, that person can still be a serial killer. You wouldn't know. I can hide so many things until the third date. Like, and it's not even like a whole day of going out to like hang out with them. It's literally like 2 hours of dinner. So basically, you're confessing your love to somebody after 6 hours of being with each other. Like, you wouldn't know me after 6 hours. I don't even know myself after 20-something years. So who are you to tell me I love you after 6 hours? I'm like, and please do tell me like where there is to love about me.
最近なんか登山に行くといいっていうのがありますよね、日本で。
え
You should go climbing with your someone that ちょっと気になってる人と登山に行くとね、なんか There's a lot of problems happening when you go to like Mount Fuji and stuff.
I didn't know that.
And
Wait, so
then you know how he's gonna like react. He's gonna help you, or I'm afraid too, or something like that maybe.
So apparently in Japan, there's now a new rule or a saying or whatever that you should.
Little light one is like a barbecue maybe.
Ah,
How
I've heard the
he
barbecue.
reacts in front of a lot of people, how he cooks like.
なるほど。
kind of stuff.
So in Japan, people are saying you should climb Mount Fuji with whoever you're into to see how he overcomes obstacles. I heard that about barbecue and also camping as well. Camping, yeah, you can see a lot of red flags. A lot of the times people just sit around and do nothing. You can see so much. And also, if you go barbecuing with somebody you like you need to check if he gives you the meat first or if he takes the good looking meat first or something. Yeah, barbecue is a very good place to go if you're looking at dating somebody. But yeah, you can never go barbecuing if it's only like 3 times of like, going out on a date. So I don't agree with the Japanese dating system of you should confess your love to somebody after 3 dates because you would never know how that person is. はいですね。But especially in America where I was from, instead of saying 好きです付き合ってください, you would say let's make it official. So lame. Like, what? Let's make it official. Like, what are we? Social media? Like, let's put that official mark. Yeah, but because there is no like actual confession, like, I mean, I guess like, would you be my girlfriend? Like that phrase does exist, or like, would you be my girlfriend? Would you be my boyfriend? Phrase does exist, but it's not used as commonly as it is in Japan. So that's why a lot of the times people in relationships are like, what are we? Like 私たちって何なのって聞くんですよ. And then if you don't want to date them, you'll be like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Or like, he has commitment issues. She has commitment issues. Commitment issues っていうのはすっごい使われてるフレーズなんですよ. Commitment issues ってなんだろう? Commitment 簡単に言うと契約できないみたいな、固い結びができない人みたいな、commitment issues みたいな感じで言われてるんですけど、アメリカとかだとちょっとまだ今付き合えないなみたいな、6回ぐらいデート行ってるのにって言われると、ちょっと固い契約結べない人なんだみたいな感じの commitment issues って言葉があります。はい。But yeah, if you're ever trying to find someone in Japan, please do confess your love, or else like it's not gonna work. Japanese people do like to be confessed to. はい。です。
It's 6 times the average, as you said, in America?
No, more. No, I don't even know. Am I supposed to be talking this much about my love life as an idol? I mean, it's my 9th year, whatever. Okay. But usually in America, you would also introduce whoever you're looking into dating to your friends. Your friend group to see how well they would fit in. And also your friends can also tell if they're a good person or not, because love makes you blind. 恋は盲目じゃないですか. So there are things that you cannot see that your friends can see. So a lot of the times you would take your, potential lover to a lot of friend gatherings. But in Japan, if you do that, you're pretty much seen to be like a toll, like it's too heavy, like 重いって言われません？友達に紹介とか行ったら 付き合ってないのに。But you should meet your friends. Like, you should meet their friends before you start dating them, because who they hang out with is basically who they are. 友達は合わせ鏡っていうので、本当に if their friends are terrible, they are terrible as well. Okay? Like, there is never a case where they're such a good person but all their friends are like terrible. Like, that's never the case. Like, that never happens. So if you see red flags in their friends, they are a red flag as well. So please be careful. Hi. Not that I would know. I didn't really date many people in America. Hi, I was in my room watching anime. But anyway, hi, the dating scene. The dating scene is brutal in America, but the dating scene is also brutal in Japan as well. So, like, people should just stop dating and focus on their lives. Yeah, I heard it's brutal. It's very brutal, じゃないですか? 日本の dating scene. How is the dating scene in Japan?
It's brutal.
Brutal はひどいって意味ですよ、ちなみに。It's brutal. It's なんか everybody has like such high standards for each other, but you know, I feel like a lot of the times the standards that they hold for other people, they don't have something to give back, you know? So that's why people aren't able to get into relationships lately. I think it all comes back to fictional characters. These fictional characters, especially me, I would know. I fell into this anime rabbit hole when I was in middle school, and ever since then, like, I can't look at my peers the same. Like, I'm like, what's the point? Like, what is the point of going to prom with you if you are not Usui Takumi? Usui Takumi is my boyfriend from Kaguya-sama. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys find true love, if there is any true love. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Ending it on a very sad note, negative note. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, you can listen to Anime English Club as a podcast and on YouTube, where you can follow along with transcripts and subtitles. You can adjust the speed however you want and listen as many times as you need to get comfortable with English. Listening over and over is really the key to mastering any language. For Japanese and English subtitles, go to youtube.com/anime-english-club or just search by the title. Or you can subscribe so that you would get notifications if new episodes come out. I know you haven't subscribed yet. I know, because the subscription and the views don't add up. So please do subscribe. Thank you. So the Anime English Club wants to hear from you. Please let us know what anime you'd like us to cover, or, you know, for specific lines. Please tell us whose line it is and which episode it's from, or just any general English questions. Anything is welcome. Please email us at aec@1242.com. That is aec@1242.com. You can email me in either Japanese or English. メールは日本語でも英語でも大丈夫です。ということで、皆さん、告白したら負けとかないので、告白してくださいね。本当に。いっぱいデートとかしてください。キュンです。ということで、ありがとうございます。We're going to be talking about Kaguya-sama again next week as well, so please stay tuned. See you next week. Bye! From the Nippon Hoso podcast station, this is the Anime English Club, hosted by me, Sally Amaki. This episode was written by Naoki Nakamura, edited by Naoki Yamazaki, directed by Hiroshi Kochi, all from Waltz Inc. Our executive producer is Shiori Tanaka for Nippon Broadcasting System Japan.